Support for the Don Lemon Show comes from the Freedom from Religion Foundation. So let's talk facts here, okay? Because across the U.S., politicians are pushing religion into public schools. We're talking 10 Commandments posters in every classroom, chaplains without clinical training, vouchers that funnel public money to private religious schools, many of which exclude LGBTQ students or non-Christians. It is happening right now. But the Freedom from Religion Foundation is fighting back. Not only are they fighting back, they are winning. In Texas, a federal court has just blocked a law that required schools to display the 10 Commandments in every classroom. That is a huge victory for religious freedom and the separation of church and state. So here is the bottom line here. Defend the First Amendment in court, in Congress, and in classrooms to protect students from religious coercion and keep public education truly public. So don't let your rights be rewritten. Learn more at ffrf.org/school or text my name, Don, that's DON, to 511-511. Standard text fees may apply. Good morning, everybody. How are you? It's not my fault. It's Andy's fault.
Hey.
Every day it's that Andy, he's on CP time. I'm like, Andy, man, what is going on? Kidding.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. Hello, Southern California. So glad that you're here. Hello. I love that mug. Thank you. Go to the merch store, donlemon.com. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. What kind of shirt is that, Don? I told you guys. So earlier in the week, I wore the shirt that I got from India. This is the shirt that I got from Africa. All right. So I'll show you. So you see. It's got little slits on the side here. And I got it when I went to, I think this one is from Ghana. I got it near the Slave Coast Castle when I went to trace my ancestry. So yeah, I like the colors. And I have others, but I did probably like in the top of my closet. Some of them are warm. One of them is really big. I don't know if you guys have seen the ones with the pleats. Have you seen those? So yeah, so this is my shirt from Africa. So there you go. Paying homage to the ancestors. Thank you for joining us this morning. So the part of the reason, well, not the reason that we're late, but we went through like, what do we want to show the people? What do we want to talk about this morning? What is newsworthy? There's a lot that's newsworthy, but there's also a lot that can inform you about what people are doing and what is happening. Okay. So we had some names. Andy, if you will, for me, could you please put up the, hang on one second. Yes. Will you please put up the thumbnail? Because I want folks to see the thumbnail. So the thumbnail says, kissing Trump's arse. Oh, let me start the TikTok. And all of this, guys, I did not do what I was supposed to do, team, what you asked me to do. You're like, did you start the TikTok? Did you do this? Did you do that? And I did not. Okay, so now I am. And so what were some of the ones that we came up with? I mean, team, that you guys said no to? Nobody wants to?
We had a boot slash ass licker. I liked that one.
Can you guys in the comments tell us what you think? Yeah, it was Jerome Anderson from Cincinnati. What do you think? Boot slash ass licker. I said, well, didn't I say like a taint? What did I say? Taint something?
Yeah, I remember seeing an alliteration.
Oh,
Trump taint.
Trump's taint.
Ticklers.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
And I remember some.
Oh, no. It was tonguing Trump's taint. There were a couple of taint ticklers. I like that. Okay, so what do you? I thought that, or a lot of them had to do with licking and salad tossing and all kinds of stuff like that. That we could have, because it's all true. Did you guys see this cabinet meeting yesterday? It's ridiculous. Nikki, what did you say? You said, do they all have like a meeting and say, okay, we're going to start by being what's the guy's last name? Jeremy Rimmer. Is that what we're all going to do? Is that how we're all going to start the meeting? today by doing that. And I don't know, look, you guys correct me if I'm wrong. I saw like Joe Biden and other presidents having cabinet meetings, and they let the cameras in, and people ask a couple of questions, and then they kick them out and whatever. Maybe the president says something, but I've never seen them do it for an entire 3 hours, whatever this cabinet meeting was. The cameras stay and people just lick kiss Trump's butt the entire time and talk about your policies, this policy, what we're doing here, what we're doing there. If you're doing such great things, why do you need to talk about it? You know, they say the people who talk about it are the people who are doing it the least. When people talk about stuff, you're like, oh, God, why is that person talking so much? They must not be doing shit, right? They're overcompensating. Glazers were glazing. So this is how Rolling Stone put it. Trump's cabinet meeting was stuffed with flattery for dear leader. That was one of the things we thought. Dear leader was in there as well. The televised groveling festival lasted over 3 hours. Crazy. Kissing the ring, they said. My favorite, though, comes from the Bulwark. I love the Bulwark. You guys are the best. They are even better than ours. Or, well, I could have come, well, actually not, because I had some really gross ones. And Peter, what did you say, Don? Enough already?
I said, no more.
The Bulwark says all the president's butt snorkelers. They were snorkeling some butt yesterday. I mean, after that, nobody needed to go to the beach or the suntan or the suntan booth or whatever, the tanning bed, because they were all orange by the time they left. Like they had gone to a tanning bed, had been in the sun all day and were just orange and ruddy, or they had just taken their hands and stuck them in some Cheetos, and not the orange ones, not the hard, the orange ones, yes, not the hard ones, but the soft ones. You know, the ones I'm talking about? Those are good. The ones that like melt in your mouth. That's what they were. They were like, oh my gosh, they were just all orange. Ass spelunkers. I like that. That's a good one. This is what it sounded like to me. First, I'm going to show you what it sounded like, and then I'm going to actually play you some of it, and we're going to go through it. So this is from South Park, okay? Watch. And look, if the truth wasn't so fun, stranger than fiction, because these people sound exactly like this. This is I think the second South Park, but they hit the nail on the head. Here it is.
Mr. President, you have so many great ideas. Your leadership is truly beyond anything we have ever had in this country. And you do not have a small penis.
Ah, thanks, gang.
On behalf of the state of Florida, I'd like to give you this gift, a silver-plated space shuttle.
Next. Mr. President, your ideas for the tech industry are so innovative, and you definitely do not have a small penis. Ah, thanks, yeah. Please accept this gift on behalf of Apple.
Next. Mr. President, your idea is incredible. You do not have small penis.
It is completely true, but this time it's his cabinet members doing it. Okay, so our friends over at the Midas Touch put this together, and tell me it's not far off. Here it is. This is just a little bit of it.
If you all haven't stopped by the Department of Labor, Mr. President, I invite you to see your big, beautiful face on a banner in front of the Department of Labor, because you are really the transformational president of the American worker, along with the American flag and President Roosevelt.
Working for this government, for you, is the greatest honor of my life.
I tell it to everybody, and I really do feel that way, and I thank you.
You have breathed life back into the profession of law enforcement. Your respect for law enforcement is so incredible. It's making a difference.
This is just such a great opportunity, really, to recognize your leadership as a true champion for working people. Well, everyone knows there's no stronger advocate for hardworking American families than you.
Well, Mr. President, first of all, thank you for the opportunity to work for you.
Our country has never been so secure thanks to you. You have brought us back from the edge.
And there's only one thing I wish for, that noble committee finally gets its act together and realizes that you are the single finest candidate since the this Nobel Award was ever talked about to receive that reward.
It's pretty great to celebrate Labor Day with a builder who loves labor. The great Trump projects have come from the very men and women we're going into this weekend to celebrate.
Thank you for saving college football, by the way. We're all very grateful.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. Without you, I'm nothing. Sometimes I feel the telephone ring. Here, I answer it, and there's nobody there. If you guys know what I'm talking about, that's Sandra Bernhardt from a while back. Without you, I'm nothing. Sometimes I hear the doorbell ring, I answer it, and there's nobody there. Oh my gosh. What is wrong with these people? I mean, seriously. There is some psychological crap there. Andy, I don't think we mind the right thing. Do we look at the end of it? Maybe there's a round robin at the end. While we're on, someone check it and tell me if there's a round robin at the end of them just going off, because that's what it appears to be. Because the beginning, the ones that we're going to show you is just them talking about policies in the big, beautiful bill and what they're doing with this. And it's like, why are you doing this? Because he needs adulation. He needs people to love him. Every time he talks about something, again, let's not forget Epstein. And yes, Denning, Sims, it is a cult. Every time he wants to get Epstein, he doesn't want to tell you, people, but everyone, you want to talk about Epstein, but then nobody's talking about the greatest thing, whatever. If you're talking about the greatest thing that you have ever done, it means that it's not so great. It means that you want it to be great in your mind. I wish these people would get therapy. A therapy would help them so much. And I don't mean like a therapist. Do not get a Trump supporter therapist. Okay? Get a therapist that is a nonpartisan person. Don't get a Democrat or Republican. I did have a therapist once, and that therapist talked about Trump too much. It was like, okay, sorry, thank you very much. And then I finally had my therapist. I look forward to talking to my therapist every week. I wish I could talk more. I wish like Howard Stern said he at one point he did therapy every single day. And I wonder if that was part of his transformation now that he has become a more thoughtful individual, more balanced, happy. I saw Howard Stern the other night from across the room. I didn't go over and say hello. I saw him and Beth, by the way, 2 nights ago at that thing that I showed you. But he talks about therapy again. So these people obviously have some insecurity issues, or maybe they are just sycophants or just ambitious, so ambitious that they know what it is like, what they have to do every single time to stay in their positions, to climb the ladder, a corporate ladder. I could never do that because I could not sleep at night if I did that. People who just kiss the boss's ass all the time. Yeah, it's so gross. And I wonder how they look in the mirror. I think they just look in the mirror and go, money, 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 money. Yeah, I got money. I don't care. Or they believe the BS. It is insanity. This is what Semaphore. Oh, no, sorry, that's not it. The majority of GOP voters for third term. We'll show that later. I don't know. I guess we can show it now. I don't know. The majority of GOPers, I guess it's kind of off a little bit, but maybe the GOP feels like this about Donald Trump. Maybe those folks, GOP voters favor a third Trump term. I'm not joking. Trump told NBC's Meet the Press. Go past the graph. Trump told NBC's Meet the Press when asked about a third-term talk, Representative Andy Ogles, a Republican of Tennessee, introduced a constitutional amendment in January. Do you remember that? But he said January that would allow Trump to run again, but would exclude the other two living two-term presidents, Barack Obama and Bill Clinton. Now, would it exclude George Bush? Interesting. Wonder how they're going to pull that one off. They're going to try. Okay, so let's get to this Glaze Fest, shall we? And we'll go through some of them, all right? This is cabinet meeting. First up, glazing on policies. First glazer is Health and Human Services glazer RFK Jr., all right? Keep your breakfast down. Here it is.
This cabinet meeting is supposed to be about working Americans and bringing jobs back to this country, and particularly rural America. And I want to mention the big, beautiful bill. Right now, we spend 7% of Medicaid dollars on rural hospitals. So they're getting the short end of the stick. It's about $19 billion a year. Under the Rural Transformation Program, we give them an extra $10 billion a year. So we're raising an infusion of cash to rural hospitals and rural communities by 50%. It's going to be the biggest infusion in history, and it's going to restore and revitalize those communities. And we can't survive as a nation if we don't honor our rural communities, which are the source of our values, our virtues, our character, our economy, our food. And you are bringing that back. You are bringing those communities back.
Oh, God. Okay. Pause, please. Yeah, rural communities, right on. But just remember RFK Jr., Donald Trump, Doug Burgum, Marco Rubio, people in earshot. Guess who pays for rural communities? Can we please? I wish there was someone in that cabinet meeting that would, but I guess they're not going to say it. The reason that these rural communities are able to survive is because of donor states and places like what? New York, California, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Chicago, big blue states and big blue cities that send money to rural areas so that they can be able to afford the hospitals that they have. And now he wants to give them more money. Okay. Then if they want to give them more money, if you don't want, maybe then we should not subsidize them with our tax money if you're going to grant them more money. Look, I'm just saying. Oh my gosh. And look in the cabinet room. Oh, look, I just realized behind them. Do you guys see this team? The gold shit is everywhere. Look at those gold things. What is that? Oh my God. Anyways, I digress. RFK.
I wanted to talk because you mentioned the wind farms. We now have an interdepartmental coalition, a team, which is Doug Burgum and Howard Lutnick and Chris Wright and Pete Hegseth.
Oh my gosh, he's glazing everybody.
And Lee, we're all working together on this issue. We're meeting together. There are right now 11 wind farms planned that were launched during the Biden administration. Between Maine and Virginia, it's 1,130 towers. These towers are twice the size of the Washington Monument. The blades on them are...
They're massive. It's so crazy.
The blades are 350 feet long, one blade. One of these blades blew up on Nantucket last summer, and the water was filled with shards of glass, of sharp glass, so it's dangerous to swim. They had to close the beaches, but they have indemnified themselves so the local communities can't sue them. None of these projects are bonded. If you build an oil derrick in the Gulf, you got to put a bond down. There's no bond.
So, do you guys remember the oil leak remember that in Louisiana? You guys are probably too young to remember that. You guys remember all the environmental danger. You guys remember the nuclear power plant that had issues, that was a line ruptured, and Chernobyl. You guys remember all that stuff, but yet he is talking about when clean energy. It is unbelievable. Who's next after RFK Jr.? Is there more from him that I need to listen to, or do I need to go on?
I think we can go on. Linda McMahon's next, but she doesn't say a whole lot. If you want to skip to Lee Zeldin.
Let's listen to Linda McMahon just for a second. Because she's going to talk about some policy she thinks is amazing.
All right, let me find it.
And he talks between all of them. There we go.
Very much appreciate. How are you doing with the colleges, by the way? You're doing
strong arming
in terms
Ivy
of
League schools.
getting them to treat people fairly.
Well, interestingly enough, since we've been negotiating with some of the Ivy League schools, I have presidents of universities calling every single week. They want to sit down and talk to us about all of the steps that they are taking, because they would like to not come under the same investigative program, and so it is having its desired effect.
That's great.
So if you fire a shot across the bow, the big guys, people kind of step in line and know you mean business, and we have teeth in these agreements, and I'm proud of the work that we're doing there.
Well, they misbehaved, and
let's see what he said. They misbehaved in what?
Some of these schools are getting billions and billions of dollars, and they misbehave. So that's it. And so one way or the other, we're going to win that whole thing.
They are proud of strong arming people, and possibly in some reportedly blackmailing people. So they're very proud of that, of them misbehaving. And look, are there issues on college campuses? Absolutely. But to take people's freedom of speech away, not to believe in the Constitution, it's just really unbelievable. Lee Zeldin, please, let's hear how he glazes up. This is the policy part of it. But again, Peter or someone, if you can, or Nikki, if you can look at the end, I want to see if there's just a round robin of glazing that we missed. Keep going.
The charge was clear when you called me in November and you asked me to do this job. Clean air, land, and water for all Americans. Unleash energy dominance. Advance cooperative federalism. Permitting reform. Make America the AI capital of the world. Bring back American auto jobs. What we are accomplishing now, again, wouldn't be possible if not for your leadership. I'm grateful to the American people for electing you and our amazing vice president.
Oh my God.
I was just in Mexico City announcing and signing on behalf of the Trump administration an agreement with Mexico for a permanent solution for the Tijuana River sewage crisis, which you have been so outspoken and passionate about in our conversations. It would not be possible if not for Secretary Rubio, Deputy Secretary Landau, U.S. Ambassador to Mexico Johnson. The team of the State Department has been incredible.
All right.
Work with the NEDC.
Okay, guys. I know, I'm sorry. I know it's torture, but don't you want to hear how gross this is? Could you sit there? I mean, could you guys sit there? Just tell me, have you ever done this with a boss? Maybe you have. Maybe I'm off. Maybe I'm problematic. Maybe that I don't understand what is happening. Tulsi Gabbard, Scott Bessent, Kelly Loeffler, Kristi Noem, who is a real glazer. You're going to hear from all. I mean, it goes on. Doug Collins, Sean Duffy, Pete Hegseth, Marco Rubio, Doug Burgum, all of them. First, a word from our sponsors. Support for the Don Lemon Show comes from Mint Mobile. You know what doesn't belong in your summer plans? A bloated wireless bill. While you're planning beach trips, barbecues, and long weekends, your phone bill should not be the last thing holding you back. That's why so many people are switching to Mint Mobile. With Mint, you get the same coverage and speed that you're used to, just for a lot less money, okay? Right now, Mint is offering 3 months of unlimited premium wireless for just $15 a month. That's high-speed data, unlimited talk and text on the nation's largest 5G network. So bring your own phone, keep your number, keep your contacts. My team has tried Mint Mobile, the quality on par with the big carriers, with the big guys. Crystal clear calls, reliable coverage, unlimited data for way less. So skip breaking a sweat and breaking the bank. Go to mintmobile.com/Don Lemon and grab this deal. 3 months of unlimited wireless for just $15 a month. That is mintmobile.com/Don Lemon. Now, there's an upfront fee of $45, $45 payment required for the first 3 months. New customers only. Speeds may slow after 35 GB. Taxes and fees are extra. See the site for details. Support for the Don Lemon Show comes from Shopify. This show started as an idea, a dream. Maybe you have one too, a side hustle, a big idea, but you're asking yourself, what if I can't do it alone? What if I don't have the skills? Turn those what ifs into why nots with Shopify. Shopify powers millions of businesses from household names to startups and 10% of all e-commerce in the US. So here at the Don Lemon Show, we use Shopify to bring you the merch that you love, that you demanded, okay? So don't know how to design a website? Shopify has ready-to-go templates. Need help with product descriptions or discount codes? No problem. Shopify's AI tools have your back. They'll even help you find customers with simple email and social media campaigns. And if you get stuck, 24/7 award-winning customer service, they are there. So turn those dreams into sales with Shopify. So sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/lemon. That's shopify.com/lemon. Thank you to our sponsors, and we're back. Thank you, my God, for the shirt love, even with all the glazing stuff that we are getting that you guys, I know it's gross, right? I'm sorry, but there are some things that are educational that I have to play for you. All right. So we heard from Lee Zeldin. Now, what do you guys think? Who do you think is going to be? Is it Tulsi Gabbard, or is it going to be Kelly Loeffler or Kristi Noem? Which one glazes the most? Which one kisses the most? You know what? What do you think?
Tulsi, probably.
Let's go to Tulsi Gabbard.
You found a lot of good things. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. As we approach Labor Day weekend here, this is just such a great opportunity really to recognize your leadership as a true champion for working people. And I know we'll hear as we go around the table here how your focus singularly on putting the well-being and interests of the American people first is that common thread that we're seeing in your policies being implemented across your administration. For Odie and I, number one, our focus is and must always be making sure that our intelligence community is focused on our mission, keeping the American people safe, secure, and free. We're doing great work on this front. I'll point out our National Counterterrorism Center led by Director Joe Kent.
Oh my God.
Working
Did she say telling the truth? Did she say something about telling the truth? They are actually following a script. Doesn't it sound like they had this script written down? Keep going.
With Homeland Security, DEA, FBI, and others to catch terrorists, both those who are trying to come into our country, those who may already be in our country. They are finding the worst of the cartel bosses and making sure that they're not able to continue to wreak havoc and terror in our communities. Secondly, Mr. President, you have charged me with the mission of finding the truth and telling the truth to the American people. And we've exposed some of the worst examples of the weaponization of intelligence in the last several weeks. I will continue down that mission and that path wherever it leads. Transparency, telling the truth is what will drive true accountability for the American people.
Are you kidding me? Please pause. Can we start with Tulsi Gabbard with this whole transparency and telling the truth? Can we start with the Epstein files and with her sending information to Pam Bondi about Epstein and about Barack Obama and all of this stuff? Can we start with that? About transparency and telling the truth. What about transparency for Donald Trump? How much soul-snatching medication, soul-swallowing, dampening, deadening medication did Tulsi Gabbard have to take? Or any of these people? This is a contest. Let's see who is winning the contest today. Okay? All right. So who's next after that?
Kelly Loeffler is next.
Kelly Loeffler. Let's see what Kelly Loeffler is talking about.
In America is going to be driven by small businesses because 98% of all of our manufacturers in America are small and medium businesses.
I think she kind of leads up to it.
600,000 factories that employ 5 million people. And as Secretary McMahon mentioned, this work-based learning that is going on in professional and trade schools is real. I've visited them from Utah to Maine to Georgia and seen this revolution in education happening. So small businesses need skilled labor. Now that you solve for inflation, for the taxes, every Democrat voted for a $4 trillion tax increase on the backs of hardworking Americans. And so you prevented that. And now we've got fair trade. And thanks to Administrator Zeldin, we're seeing deregulation. I mean, this diesel exhaust fluid crushed farmers and construction and other heavy industry. So rolling that back makes a real difference for small business. And your domestic economic agenda is amplified through small businesses, which is why small business optimism is above its 53-year average, finally. And so Main Street appreciates it. What Main Street wants now is a rate cut. They feel burdened by high interest rates. They would grow higher and expand more if they could, but the interest rates are really hurting them. And finally, I want to say thank you for your executive order on debanking. We're about to announce a major investigation on debanking. It happened to you and your family. It happened to me. It happened to thousands and thousands of Americans. And unfortunately, disproportionately on those that had conservative values, on Christians, on pro-life, on 2A businesses. And so we're going to be talking to the banks about that. The SBA operates the largest government business.
Does she go on to say, and I love you, and don't fire me? Thank you for hiring me.
Yeah.
Does she go, and I love you, and thanks for hiring me, don't fire me? I mean, okay, first of all, if you're not doing shady shit, then, you know, I don't know what this whole debanking thing is, but if you're not doing shady shit, and if your family, well, I mean, your family wouldn't be targeted, I don't believe, especially by not like a Merrick Garland or Democratic administration. I mean, let's just be honest. Democrats don't do that. Republicans like to say that. The MAGA folks like to say that, but they don't do it. Donald Trump is the only one that I know of in modern history, well, I should say recent modern history, to use the Justice Department in the way that he's doing it. And Kelly Loeffler is, oh my gosh. And someone, whoever in the comments says, can she come up for air? No, she's got a snorkel. So she's down there with a snorkel. Just, she can't, I mean, she doesn't have to catch a breath because she's got, you know, she takes a deep one. And she gets all the glazing out. I love you. Oh my God, you're so great. The policies. Ladies and gentlemen, Kelly Loeffler. Now, nobody knows how to glaze like this with all that lipstick. Kristi Noem.
In the federal government loan program, in the federal government,
she's coming up in 1 second.
5,000 banks. So we're going to be making sure that that never happens to anyone again.
Great job. You're doing a great job. Thank you very much.
You're doing a great job.
Kristi?
I will not fire you.
Well, Mr.
Kristi?
President, first of all, thank you for the opportunity to work for you. And you committed when you ran for president to make America safe again. And today, the average family and individual that lives in this country is safer than they've been in years because of what you've done. We've got 3 months in a row now with zero.
Don't mind the crime going down under Joe Biden, and not to mention that Republicans love to say that, oh my God, but Joe Biden was president in 2020. The crime is out of control. Joe Biden wasn't president in 2020. It was Donald Trump, you idiots. Even Marco Rubio saying that. You know, back in 2020 when Donald Trump was president, I mean, when Joe Biden was president, the crime was out of control, blah, blah, blah. That was Donald J. Trump. And I believe perhaps the good news here may be, it just might be, that the bootlickers might somehow figure out some truth. I don't know. There may be some, maybe people will realize, like, hey, you know, Joe Biden wasn't so bad on the crime. And now they're trying to pretend that it's Donald Trump. Let's let her glaze for a little bit. Keep going.
Aliens coming into this country, and I want to thank Pete and the Department of Defense for all of their help. They're down at the border with us still, helping us keep that border secure and make sure we know who's coming into this country. You've arrested and brought to justice hundreds of thousands of illegal aliens, of criminals that have perpetuated violence against American people.
Okay, pause that, please. Now, if that was indeed true, right? If that were indeed true, then I would say that's great. Right on. Let's just say maybe it is. But we have no proof of that because there has been no due process and there's been no transparency around that. And many of the people, if you look at the actual reports, the reports show that many of the people who have been rounded up and deported did not have criminal records and were less of a criminal than the actual president, who is a convicted one on 34 counts at least, and would have been convicted and on others, and would be in jail perhaps if he did not become president of the United States. I'm just saying. Christy Nome, continue.
We had 1.6 million people voluntarily go home to their home countries that were here in this country illegally. Because of your strong message and you enforcing the law, they decided to go home on their own so that they could come back the right way someday and be American citizens. But what I think is one of the most remarkable statistics is that under Joe Biden's administration, 88% of new jobs went to foreign-born individuals.
Okay, and we know that's wrong.
Under your administration, 2.5 Americans have jobs today.
We have paused. Okay, so anyway, that's all a lie. And you've seen the recent fact checks on that as well. It's all a lie. And they continue to say it even when they know it's a lie, even when the fact checkers tell them that is a lie, even when it is proven to be a lie. And yeah, of course, we know people love self-deporting, right? I mean, come on. And just think about many of the people who are sitting around in that room. If were their entire families, did they come over here legally, illegally? There's an immigrant sitting right in front of us right there. Do you see Marco Rubio? Like everyone should check their family history, including Donald Trump, including Melania Trump, his wife. They should check their family's immigration history before talking shit about people being undocumented. Remember, being an undocumented person is not it's not a criminal offense, I believe. I could be wrong about that, but it's less of a criminal offense than what Donald Trump was convicted of. I want to bring in now one of our legal minds. We're going to talk to us. I'm going to get our update on Lisa Cook in a minute, but Monique Presley, Monique, as you're sitting here listening to this, I just love you, Mr. President. What are you thinking?
Sycophants. I mean, I think they audition.
You think so?
They must, because they all know the right lines.
Have you ever in your whole life been in something like this? Would you ever consider doing that, no matter how much you loved a job?
Okay, so two questions. Those are two questions. So no, it's not. I'm not capable. Like whatever that gene is, I missed it. But yes, I have in other parts of life seen things that look interestingly like this. It shouldn't be happening in our government, though. It shouldn't be happening in our government. But there's all kinds of abusive, sexist, paternalistic stuff going on in the church. And there's a lot of stuff like that we see, which is why maybe the evangelical movement and this Trumpism mirror each other and mash together so beautifully, because the yes pastor, no pastor, sent from God pastor, he'll tell you to jump off a bridge and you jump. That is alive and well in the United States.
It's also a cult. Yes.
Yes.
I had to bring you in because I was watching as I was playing those sound bites. I was watching you in the green room and you were like, and especially the immigration part for some reason got to you.
Because there's no, I mean, Don, you know, this is my real struggle with what is happening. And I know President Obama said it years ago, but the whole thing about having common facts, that no longer exists. I mean, there is nothing that they won't say and create. And then there's no real true fact that they won't dispute. Like they would argue that your name isn't Don, and people would believe them.
Mm-hmm. Right on.
That's corrupt.
Monique has an update for us. We're going to talk about what's going on with Lisa Cook, who is a Fed board governor who Donald Trump said he fired, but does not really have the authority to fire, and she's fighting back. She is suing. There's an update on that. But first, a word from our sponsors. Support for the Don Lemon Show comes from 120 Life. Did you know that high blood pressure is the #1 risk factor for mortality? 1 in 2 adults has it. That is a coin flip that your health depends on. I have some good news for you, though. You can manage it, and you can do it naturally. 120 Life is a blend of delicious superfruit juices that help lower blood pressure without big pharma. I use it, people in my family use it, and it works. Users swear by it. Chris B says, drinking it daily improved my blood pressure. Catherine J says, my BP is normal now consistently. And you know what? Doctors recommend it too. And you can track your progress at home. Right now, get 20% off at 120life.com with the code DON. That's 120life.com, code DON, D-O-N. Risk-free trial, a full refund if your blood numbers don't drop in 2 weeks. That's 120life.com and use the code DON. Your health is what's important. Support comes from Ali, the fresh dog food brand that is, I'll do that again. Woo. Support comes from Ali, the fresh dog food brand my dogs love. If your pups could talk, they would beg for Ali. You know the tail wags, excited hops, a goofy grin. That's the Ali effect. Real human grade food, no fillers, no preservatives, just 5 drool-worthy recipes with fresh beef and sweet potatoes or turkey with blueberries. It's all made in U.S. kitchens, and Boomer, Barkley, and Gus Gus, my dogs, love it. Healthier foods mean a happier dog, more energy, shinier coats, better digestion. Honestly, your dog will probably be eating better than you. Ali even offers unlimited routine health screenings because they care about your dog's health as much as you do. So start today. You just have to take a 30-second quiz. They're going to customize your dog's meal plan, and you'll get 60% off your first box when you subscribe. So plus a happiness guarantee. Love it, or you're going to get your money back. So what's to lose? Go to ollie.com/lemon and use the code lemon. That's ollie.com/lemon and use the code lemon. OLLIE.com/lemon and use the code lemon. Thank you to our sponsor. Hey, so, and that's, we're transparent here, right? I was like, I messed that up. Let me do that over again. Thank you guys for the sponsors. Monique, okay, let's bring Monique in. So Monique, Lisa Cook is suing Donald Trump. Also, though, there is a response, and you sent us a story. Let's put that up. That is the Lisa Cook case could be the whole ball game. They're saying the Supreme Court lets Trump replace Cook. If the Supreme Court lets Trump replace Cook with a loyalist, he might soon achieve a full-blown takeover of the Federal Reserve. What is the danger in that? And then we'll get to the update.
Right. So I think I sent a Reuters story, but I did see this story. Yeah. And the issue is that the less we have of independence, then the less we are viewed by the world as reliable, which I think we talked about a little bit yesterday. When you look at the value of the dollar, when you look at whether we pay our bills or not, when you look at the way that determinations are made by the Federal Reserve Board, if they can be bought or if they can be exchanged, coinciding with a shift in the leader of the executive branch, then that makes for a whole new level of instability. There's a reason why their terms are 14 years. It's meant to have these people be appointed and survive. Even though they're appointed by presidents, they automatically survive the maximum of 2 terms. Yes, it's still supposed to be 2 terms of office that any single president has. So they are meant to be there throughout the turbulent and sometimes tumultuous lifespan of a single president. And he's trying to change that, and he's open about it. If we get the majority, that's what he says yesterday on camera. If we get the majority, then we'll be able to do something about the housing rates. That's what needs to be fixed, the housing rates. What's so absurd about him saying that? He's saying that something needs to be done about the housing rates, but they're accusing Lisa Cook of claiming multiple primary residences in order to get a better housing rate. Idiots. And, and so Abby Lowell says, your attempted firing, he's her attorney and a good one. And he's like, we'll see you in court. You don't have the authority to do this. And you don't have the for cause that is necessary for you to be able to do this. You can't use an unsubstantiated tweet and a referral from one of your minions. So we are going to fight this.
So let's talk about the thing that you and I discussed a little bit this morning, or that you sent this morning, about what is known about this Lisa Cook case. Okay, Lisa Cook, she's going to sue. But let's put up the Reuters story. She's going to sue from her firing from the Fed board. Federal Gov mortgages what's known. Federal Governor Cook's mortgages what's known and what's not known. What stood out to you here?
Here's the huge part. So what she's being accused of, and I want to say at the front, if I haven't said it already, them doing this is them trying to create an issue so that they can get this seat. So I am not trying to substantiate the charges through discussing them. I'm really trying to amplify and elevate the fact that these facts were known to them since before her confirmation. And it was a hotly contested confirmation that came down on party lines, that then Vice President Kamala Harris had to do the tiebreaker in order for this Black woman to be the first Black woman to get this seat. These loans predate her confirmation.
Right.
So anybody who's anybody is gonna know that if the GOP had something and then it was closer in time, when they, went from rooter to tutor, went through her trash, went through her bank records, went through everything they possibly could. If there was a there, we would have known it and it would have been raised then. But even if they were asleep at the wheel, and now we're dealing with these mortgage fraud allegations because she claimed 2 primary residences, one in Georgia and one in Michigan. And she was teaching at the time in Michigan. And frankly, it's common for professors who maybe spend 5 months, they're September, October, November, home December, January, February, March, school ends April, they're back home for the rest of the summer. It's common for them to have split dwellings like that. It is not fraud if it's disclosed to the bank.
Yes. Yes, and it's also common not only for professors, it's common for people who are in government, because if you may work in Washington, D.C., right? And you're in Washington, D.C. a lot, and then you go home for the summer. You go back to California, you go back to Michigan, you go back to wherever, right? And then you come back and you stay until November or December. Then you go home for the holidays, and then you come back in January and you stay. And so you are living in both of those places.
Yes.
So, and so who knows? And then who knows if she was even renting the properties out? You know what I mean? And also remember, don't forget this, Monique, which I think you should remember. During COVID, a lot of people moved, right? And their primary resident became a different resident than it had been before. Some people never went back.
Right.
Some people went to either they had a country home or a summer home, or they bought another house somewhere else. It might be Florida, right? A lot of people moved to Florida and they never moved back. And so, and if you make that your primary resident, do you go back and say, oh, the mortgage I had before is not my primary? Like, who does that? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Well, and the thing is, like the Michigan home, it shows in the records she had for like 15 years prior to this. This was a time when a lot of people were doing refis and trying to get better rates. But here's what the Reuters story says, which was also known to Congress at the time she was nominated and confirmed, and known to Pulte before he did this referral. First, fraud is an inducement. So if you are candid with both mortgage institutes, which we don't know yet, that information hasn't been provided, it wouldn't be fraud then. But also, fraud is supposed to be an inducement for you to get something that you wouldn't otherwise get. The Reuters story says that her mortgages on both properties were at higher interest rates than the average, than the norm during the time when she got them. So she wasn't getting anything. Like the claims of principal residences did not get her something that she wouldn't have already gotten. And that's why the experts that were in the Reuters article concluded that either it must have been disclosed or that was not her purpose. And then I want to give one more little pesky fact for these people who are trying to kill her. A Detroit News review of the Ann Arbor property records found that Cook has had a principal residence exemption on that home since 2006. And Fulton County records indicate there is no homestead exemption on the Atlanta condo that Pulte referenced in his tweet. So, who's lying?
And
or Trump and them.
But here's the thing that people aren't seeing too. Donald Trump knows all the tricks, and so he's saying, "Here, look for this. You guys do this. Comb over this, because you know that you see what I'm saying? Because he knows the tricks and he's used all of them. And remember, he was accused of something very similar. He was accused of something worse, of inflating the value of assets and then decreasing the value, inflating when he wants to sell it and make money, and then decreasing it for taxes.
Accused and found liable.
I'm just saying.
Not just accused, like a judgment against him. And here we are with this accusation, when the more people dig, the more facts are known, and it just doesn't at all add up. But even if there was this principal residence in dual places and it was not disclosed, but she also got no advantage, none of that is for cause. None of that is what the president, according to these Supreme Court cases, is supposed to be able to use for a for cause dismissal of a governor on the Federal Reserve Board.
We know what this was.
That's where you land every time.
We know what this is. We do. We know what this is. That's all. We know what it is. And you have to stop pretending, because people are sitting around and they're doing news reports. And I'm glad Reuters did that. But we know what it is. And from the very onset, you know what it is. And so I just hate the sort of fake, like, okay, so, this happened and then this happened and then maybe there's a point or whatever. Okay, look, let's see the evidence. But the more I read, and I like to read, where's your proof? And what is it? And even, like, let's just say it did happen. It was before. What you gonna do? Who gonna check me, boo? I mean,
yeah. But here's what they also knew, and I'm gonna try to explain it without, like, I can hear the tears, like I can feel them out the sides of my eyes. I'm a bit of a crybaby on this stuff. But the quote from Malcolm about Black women is so true, and us being the ones that people think they can get away with disrespecting, with not protecting. And what Trump and his people guessed is that the market wouldn't give a damn about this fight between him and the Black woman to get her out of the seat. They got real iffy about the chair, but see, a seat is a seat, and he wants one seat. So when there was pushback on Powell, they shifted, and they shifted, as Simone said yesterday on What You Played, they shifted to the only Black woman on the board, thinking that no one would give a damn, thinking that people would not stand up and fight, thinking that it would be easy to believe that she did something wrong, because people are predisposed to believe that we did something wrong to get something anyway. And there's this classism thing, this war happening where they hear this Black woman has multiple properties. Oh, and we're not supposed to have anything.
Mm-hmm.
What's she doing with one principal dwelling, 2 rental properties, this and this, and the properties are at $500,000 or more $1,000? Oh, it rubs people completely wrong. And so that's why we fight. So CBC came out with a statement, NCNW and all the civil rights groups are coming out with a statement. The Win with Black Women, as I predicted, everybody has come out. We've got toolkits. Y'all go out and look on IG or wherever, and you'll see all of these things posted. And please share them and let this administration know that this is not okay.
Monique is standing on business. That's what somebody said. This is my favorite one, though. Monique be knowing.
Amen.
Thank you, Monique. See ya.
I appreciate you.
Monique. Monique be knowing. Okay, can we do a lightning round, Andy? Excuse me, a lightning round on this. So we had Kristi Noem, Chris Wright, I don't care, no, we care about it. Lori Chavez, don't care about it. What does Pam Bondi say, real quick? Do you have a mark like that? Can you go to Pam Bondi?
Yeah, I have to scroll to it, but yeah.
Let's see what Pam Bondi says, and then we'll see if JD Vance is he a Glaze Fest through his.
I appreciate it.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Thank you, Pam.
President, I'm working with everyone around this table almost daily on legal issues that we're winning on. But today, because it's Labor Day, President Trump, if I could focus on public safety.
I don't think she says a whole lot, actually.
Okay, and then let's go to JD Vance. Is he next?
Thank you, Pam, very much. Mr. VP, would you like to say something?
Yes, sir. I'll be brief, but I want to congratulate you and the entire team on all the things that have been accomplished. You'll hear about a lot of it. You've already heard some of it, but I thought it would be helpful, Mr. President, just to take stock, not just of what we've accomplished, what we will accomplish, but of the mess that we inherited, because I think it makes this first Labor Day a bigger and more special occasion.
Let's talk about Joe Biden. Okay, who's next? So you have JD Vance, but then also, you know what? I have not seen. Oh, Scott Bessent is next. Let's see what Scott Bessent has to say.
Scott?
Sir, as we've said very often, economic security is national security, and our country has never been so secure thanks to you. You have brought us back from the edge. You have the overwhelming mandate from the American people. You're restoring confidence in government. A topic that is on the front of everyone's mind, the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve's independence comes from a political arrangement between itself and the American public. Having the public's trust is the only thing that gives it credibility. And you, sir, are restoring trust to government. You are weeding out the waste, fraud, and abuse, and the old ways of doing things are not good enough. We are seeing a blue-collar boom. In the first 7 months of your administration, real
all right,
blue-collar.
that's Scott Bessent. Scott, you don't have to do that, man. You got hundreds of millions of dollars. You're a gay man. Just, you've accomplished a lot. Damn, bro. Wow. Okay, let's see who's after Scott Bessent. Brooke Rollins, didn't she do some glazing? Is that her? Right next to. Let's see what Brooke Rollins has to say. Agriculture Secretary.
You're doing great. Thank you very much, Scott. Brooke?
Sir, I dropped my second son off at college last week. And I wasn't planning to say this, but just listening to everybody, I want to put a little bit of a personal touch on this work. He started his freshman year yesterday at Texas A&M, for all my SEC friends in the room. Thank you for saving college football, by the way. We're all very grateful. The country just feels different. It just feels different. There's such a optimism and a love. There's a faith movement going through, especially with our younger Americans. And for those of us with kids in college, I know we feel
Okay,
it.
that's enough.
And
So look, my niece dropped her son off at college to my nephew, my great nephew, and they're very excited about him going to college, but they're also there's concern and lessons that need to be told about violence on around him, meaning if something happens, what to do if a police officer stops him and all of that. It's a whole different experience for a lot of people. And I'm sure carrying IDs, identification with you wherever, there's a whole different thing. The optimism that they feel, not everybody feels it. It's kind of like during Biden when the metrics of the economy, through no matter what when the health of the economy, no matter what metrics you measured them through, the economy was on the upswing, on the rise. Inflation was moving down from the economy that Donald Trump ran into the ground the first time. And then, but the MAGA folks are like, well, I don't feel Joe Biden is so high. Now things are higher under Donald Trump. And all of a sudden you're like, this is so great. Is it great because of the things that you said that you voted for, the Constitution that you said you believed in, or is it great because you feel that you're getting your way and that there's a bully that is getting your own personal agenda accomplished? And it has nothing to do with economics and policy. It has to do with power, control, racism, bigotry, money, gluttony. Because perhaps that might be it. Who's next?
Next, this was Bissent, right?
Yeah,
this was Brooke Rollins.
No, let's go. I want to just, I want to see, is there anything? Do I want to see Marco Rubio? Let's see what Howard Lutnick has to say, or Sean Duffy. There's Doug Collins too, but
Duffy.
Yeah. So after Brooke Rollins is Scott Turner, who is the only Black cabinet member. Let's see what the brother has to say. Where is he? Oh, he's right there. He's right next to her.
that is,
He's
again,
the only Black man
a
in
game
the room.
changer, a country saver, and what a joy to be able to do it under your leadership.
At least,
So
who
thank you.
knows?
Really good. Thank you.
Probably a couple in there who don't know that
Thank
they're
you very much.
Black ancestry.
Scott?
Yes, sir. Thank you,
Yes, sir.
Mr. President. I'm so grateful to be here to celebrate Labor Day with the greatest team in America. And it is football season, so I'm happy about that. But Mr. President, I want to say thank you for, as Brooke said, reclaiming Labor Day. And you've been a tremendous champion for the American worker. I come from a hard-working family, as many people around this table do. And so thank you for helping us to change the conversation. And I believe we are changing the conversation around the kitchen table.
I've had enough. Was the first words, can you just back up? The first words out of his mouth were, yes, sir. Am I wrong?
Scott?
Yes, sir.
Back that up again. I just want you to hear it.
David, thank you very much. Scott?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. President.
That's good. Okay, there you go. Scott, yes, sir. I just want to thank you, sir. Anyway, if you want to know anything about the Don Lemon Show, go to donlemon.com. If you want to know anything about our community, we encourage you to join, become a member. It's very reasonable. You can go to click on that top button, which was our YouTube channel, and then hit subscribe. Make sure you're subscribed, and then you can join. Okay, very reasonable memberships. I mean, it's less than you pay for coffee a day. Not even, especially in a month. If you realize what some people pay for coffee in a month, then it's probably hundreds of dollars. So that's how we stay viable on these streaming streets. And also, if you subscribe, it helps us, right? It helps advertising. It helps the sponsors. It helps everything, okay? Promotion, people write, like they think like, oh my gosh, you have a lot of sponsors. Let's write about it. And people become aware of the channel. So I encourage you to hit the thumbs up, and I encourage you to follow us on whatever platform that we're on, whether it is TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, iHeart, Radio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever it is, follow us. And also check out our merch. You can go, if you're on the YouTube page, just go on the, you can go on the donlemon.com and click on merch. And you can support us by buying some of the merch. You guys asked for it. I said, no. You said, yeah. Oh, by the way, I love this. My little popcorn thing is one of my favorites. We should have had some popcorn to listen to these people. It's early though. Okay. And the mug that you see right there on the thing, it's here. And there we go. All right. So thank you for your support. Until I see you back here at 5 o'clock for Lemon Live at 5. I want to say you can be informed without being inundated. So turn the TV off. Thanks everyone for watching. Your support means the world to us. So make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to our channel to make sure that you never ever miss a video. We're live every day, 10 a.m. Eastern time. We drop even more content at 2 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern. And if you want more Don Lemon Show content, we'd love for you to become a member of the Lemon community, where you will receive access to special community posts. You'll get exclusive content and members-only live shows. So head over to our channel page or click the join button on this video. Again, thank you for watching. We appreciate your love and your support, and we will see you